Footy's back. G'day, I'm Swans legend Darren Cresswell. No, I'm not. Wait. I'm Jaymz Clements, and I'm the host here of the AFL Today Show. I'm joined, as always, out here making footy a little bit more fun. A couple of local dingai AFL experts, basically just full-blown footy nuts. There's social guy Leo over there.
G'day, Jim. I'm feeling up and about today. I think more switched on than stats guy because he was a bit off it earlier.
So the other guy here, stats boy, Liam McAllion, he's like he's having constant mini strokes.
That's all right.
It's weird.
I'm learning it from you. You like to smell burnt toast a lot from a few different things.
Smell, taste, both?
Just smell. That's all. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to go. I'm fired up for the AFL Today Show. It's all good.
Well, the thing is, what is it? It's round 10. When you've hit double figures,
wow.
You're in the creamy middle of the AFL season, right? And it is the moment where you're like, all right, we have a very clear set of tiers, contenders, pretenders, all that sort of gear. But the thing is, this is when footy gets awesome. It's just constant. All week, you're just right there and amongst it. Just, again, it's the Homer in the donut machine. Footy. And then, if you listen to Wednesday's show, when they take away Thursday night footy, I'm just going to be even angrier.
Yeah.
This is just annoying. Anyway,
very angry.
The good thing is, footy's back. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and, of course, all our social networky goovers. What do we got? X,
Facebook,
IG, TikTok, all the fun stuff. It's right there. Let's do some news before we get into the Thursday teams. Stats boy, you got some stats here on some possible concussions.
Why
nerd reporting?
Yeah, we get a bit of nerd reporting. 12% of the AFL on this report and 10% of AFLW, they did a bit of a survey on concussions, are not reporting possible concussions. So that's a bit of a worry. I think they interviewed 300 people.
What if people didn't report it in the interview?
What if people?
Well, exactly.
What about
That's
people
right.
talked into their microphone?
Yeah.
Am I not?
I think your chest is.
It's
Yeah.
like you're just immersing your microphone in chest hair and talking into the top of your laptop. It's very strange,
That's
Leo.
a very good point.
Have you done a podcast before?
No.
Is this your first one? Debut?
He's only done 87 million episodes of cricket today and he can't talk into a mic.
I know, that was a bit strange.
But 12% and 10% of AFL players, AFLW players.
Out of the people interviewed, yeah. Which is a big worry, yeah.
Pretty big sample size as well, right?
Not
300
reporting
plus.
concussions, and obviously there's a massive concussion problem at the moment in the AFL. I feel like it's more than ever. I don't know if it's just because they're being more cautious of it or something like that. Last year was only 9%, so it's going up apparently every year. People are reporting it less. I think it's because you're spending more time out each year. They're sort of upgrading the amount of time out. But surely with all the things going on, you're going to go, oh, crap. CTE, so many people coming to the AFL after they've retired, or Driscoll from the Dogs just retiring. Surely once you have a couple of concussions, you're like, all right, I'm going to say something. Like,
surely if you get any sort of hit.
Or a head knock, yeah.
I feel a bit wobbly.
Yeah.
You just do something about that.
You don't want to mess with that. Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
Anyway.
That's quite literally the reason I went, I'm not going to play footy anymore in year 9.
Exactly.
I got knocked out, flat out cold, woke up and went, that's enough.
Fair enough.
Juice. Anyway. Speaking of other sooks, Chris Scott wants more recognition for the minor premiers.
I read that before, yeah.
I think the headline is actually, but we finished on top of the radar. It was just like, no one cared.
No one cares.
Yeah, because no one actually cares.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the EPL where it's like, that's the title. It's like, yeah, cool. We'll say the NBA, NFL. We finished with the best record in the entire league. It's like,
no one cares.
That's what the 1 seed's for.
Yep.
That's what you've got an easier path to the grand final for. Oh, we need you to just blow smoke up our rear end for a little bit more about how great we are. Why? No one cares. Shush, Chris Scott. Shush. Anyway. Speaking of other AFL coaches, they want a national reserves competition. I actually like this idea.
Yeah.
It's also a bit weird because it's like national reserves. Okay, we're just going to figure out how we get folks to and from stuff. I think there should literally just be a completely standardised B League, basically, right?
The only thing is just questions is WRFL and SANFL get massive crowds and they have these big fan bases. Would that get rid of a few of these big clubs and things like that? That's the only thing. I feel like every other state would go, yeah, let's do it. Because
to be honest, I think you just keep everybody and just go, we're making it like a 30-team comp.
You could.
Let's go.
It already is VFL. It's a massive comp.
Exactly. It's already massive. So I think roll with it. Keep it as an actual national.
I don't mind. I think it will help the league if you actually got your one team. Because some teams have 2 or 3
travel
teams.
together.
You can travel together and stuff. Yeah.
Also, did you pronounce waffle as spelling it out? I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that.
I did actually, yeah.
The
waffle.
WAFL.
Yeah. I think it's
weird.
It's because I should have said Sandful and Waffle,
and then you said SANFL.
Yeah, I don't know why I said it like that.
Also, the other bit of news was apparently we're trying to fix everything that's broken about the AFL.
Too many changes.
My entire point has been I've already fixed this by just going, right, or we let all we need to do is let every single AFL player fight one single fan each year.
That's a great fix.
That's going to fix 95% of our problems, right? Social media, sorted. Problems at the game, sorted. The other 5% are literally like, we're making stuff up at this point. But at the same time, the 5% is probably usually umpire related. The rest of it just seems like we're looking for stuff to fix.
Yeah.
The 6-6-6, we need to fix it. Why?
Yeah.
To be honest, when you restart a game and it's a really close game, 6-6-6 is amazing. Because it literally becomes an arm wrestle between who are your best dudes right now. You can't load up the back and go, we're not going to let you kick. It's like, well, you can't do anything about it until you guys get there now. Sucked in. It's good. Awesome.
It makes a lot of like the importance on the centre bounce, which was gone before.
It was gone because you could just put 20 guys behind the ball.
Yeah. And the other one is like rock nominations. That's still weird. But at the same time,
bring back third man up.
That was cool, third man up. Yeah, Daniel Wells was the specialist for North. He used to kick karate kick goals and stuff like that.
Loved it.
The other one is shorter quarters. Like,
that's the thing they brought up today.
Just speed it up. Like, it's fine. Like, what are we doing? But we've kind of figured this out, right? Like, we're looking at I think the first 5 rounds were super, super long. Now we've sort of figured out the score reviews. We're speeding that up to a degree, which is making things a lot easier. We haven't really like yelled about that for a couple of weeks, which is good. So I don't think we need to go searching for stuff to fix when there's so much I think that we're already fixing at the moment.
Well, especially when the last 2 seasons in AFL have been the biggest attendance ever.
Exactly.
Ever. So just don't change things and everyone will keep turning up.
If you're going to fix stuff, just keep Thursday night football.
Yes.
It's not rocket surgery, you idiots.
10 minutes. Strap in.
Go listen to yesterday's show for all of the yelling about the Thursday night footy thing. I think it's a very well-structured argument and a very loud argument that just keeps going. So anyway, Thursday night footy, it's about to start in about an hour. Gold Coast Geelong, has this line changed at all their stats, boy?
Yeah, 1. So it was -4.5 yesterday. I'm actually surprised it hasn't swung towards Gold Coast being favourites, but Geelong are still favourites,
A lot of the tips I've seen have been Suns. They are, I think, when I was looking at tips.com.au, maybe when I was popping mine in, I still think Geelong were the people who sort of backed Geelong.
85% on lots of sites. That seems way too heavy, I think.
Anyway, the over-under 161.5, TIO Stadium tonight. Start of Sir Doug Nicholls Round, which is fantastic. It has been very, very cool to see, obviously, the name changes as well.
Yep.
Where they come with the original Indigenous name. Very cool, very nice. For this, we don't have anything for Gold Coast or Geelong.
No.
Not yet, but we will. I think they
next
spread it out over weeks, right? Don't they?
No. Some teams don't do it. The last year
only they did last year.
Nah, not every team did it last year.
Cool.
It's a bit weird.
Tips, I'm still sticking with my Suns by 13. Leo?
Suns by 3. This will be very congested up there in there because of the greasy conditions.
Greasy. Did I say that yesterday? I don't think I did.
We need a greasy counter.
Yeah, greasy. Suns by 10 because of that reason.
Friday, my beloved Carlton travel to Sydney where they do not win.
No, they don't at all.
Yeah.
The Swans are 13.5-point favourites. That's top of the ladder, Sydney Swans. If you haven't heard, nobody talks about them, and a lot of people whinge about how no one talks about them while talking about them. They don't seem to see the irony about this. Sydney are fantastic, but I think Alex's point that he made yesterday, and so we had Lachlan McCurdy from Coach Sports on yesterday's show as well. It is hilarious how like everything down here is like, Essendon are back! It's like they're third.
Yeah.
Sydney are on top of the ladder, 8-1. And
there's a lot of Sydney fans in Melbourne as well. You got South Melbourne, obviously,
The over-under in this one's 170.5. SCG tomorrow night. Carlton do not win there. They last won in 2019. They've lost 9 of the last 10 there.
They really hate going there. I got a big group of Carlton mates that are actually going there. So they're like, I'll be like, what, you want to see another loss there? What are you doing? It would be pretty fun.
Hey, kids, want to see a dead body? That's what it is. Because, look, very similar to how Carlton play Melbourne, and they've never beaten them in my lifetime, I think. The same thing goes for Carlton and Sydney. Like, they beat them there in 2019. Aside from that, I think the last time they beat them there was 1982. So before I was born.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Like, Carlton, Sydney, last year was the absolute nadir of the Carlton season, essentially. Started with the Sydney loss, probably finished at that Essendon loss, King's birthday weekend, so exactly around this time. It feels like this could be an absolute walloping of Carlton. Because let's do some teams.
Yes.
Sydney, in comes Braden Campbell. Matt Roberts goes out.
Like for like replacement there, I reckon.
Checks out.
That's not too bad, yeah.
For Carlton, the walking wounded. They lose Lockie Cowan. Moo. Cotters is out as well, my fellow Ginger. Adam Chera. What a surprise twist.
Oh, he always is injured. And Jack Martin. He's always injured as well.
It's a crisis at Carlton. It's a crisis.
What are they doing there?
Pretty good rubber, I'm just saying. It was all right. Point
Isn't that right? That's my rubber impression.
The Carlton soft tissue injuries, this is actually becoming a legitimate real concern where week on week there's training mishaps and problems at training.
Training too hard.
Do we maybe need to fix Icon Park and that grass a little bit? Maybe we'll send Matt Rao, the grass specialist.
He just ate a bit.
You're like, yeah, it's off, boys. It's off. Guys, not sure about this. Oh. There's a hint of turmeric about this one. Come on. In comes Caleb Marchbank, which is pretty good. Zach Williams, which is just a roll of the dice, if you ask me. It's like, we've got lots of injuries. Who are we relying on? Zach Williams.
Jack Carroll's here. That's perfect for SuperCoach. I just realised that he's still on my bench.
How do you still have Jack Carroll?
It's a bit sad.
Don't worry about it.
Right. Orazio Fantasia as well.
Yeah, that's not a good in.
It is a tough one. So the only upside, I guess, for Carlton in this game is the fact that you do have Harry Mackay and Charlie Curnow against the Swans backline that will be missing Tom McCartan. So it is a little bit light on, but they still have Dane Rampy, Nick Blakey. It's, flashbacks to last year of just the Lizard just storming off the halfback flank, just dissecting the Carlton midfield time and time again. The big question here is, could the Blues injured 22? You can actually basically build a Carlton team out of their injured players at this point.
I don't think you could.
Just about. Would they beat North? I'm just saying.
I am a North supporter, obviously. I'm going to say no, but there is a lot of big outs. They're not going to beat.
No, definitely not.
Jack Martin,
Chera,
Doherty.
Where's the key forwards? Where's the key back?
Who's kicking goals? Yeah.
Fogarty's going to kick 8.
Fogarty's smaller than Stats
Super will
guy.
kick 10 and we'd win by 80.
That'd be interesting.
No,
Anyway,
it would be actually pretty close. I'd admit.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
We are
Let's
really
be
bad.
serious.
all right, that's enough Carlton talk. We need to talk about Sydney, remember, because they have beaten Melbourne, Collingwood, Essendon, and GWS already. This is another top 8 team that they're playing.
They're fine.
I don't think Carlton will be top 8 for long after this game because I believe Sydney are going to absolutely smash my beloved Blues. It breaks my heart, but also that's how it goes. I think we're going to go to Sydney. It's going to be a grind. Carlton are going to look all out of shape, all out of sorts. And I don't think Charlie and Harry will get off the leash at all, even without McCartan. And I think the Swans win it by 62.
62?
That is the reverse mock if I've ever seen it.
I know. They're going to win by 62. Nah, they're definitely not.
I don't think they're going to win by 62. I think they are in for a smash.
That's a bit. I know they've got lots of outs, but surely they keep it closer than 62.
I think it gets ugly real quick. We saw, so you think about the Sydney Essendon game earlier this year, and now it just like Sydney just piled it on, and they piled it on
5
really
goals,
quickly. It's just like, I think that could happen pretty quickly too. So.
Okay.
Stats boy?
I'm going Swans by 22. I think
22.
I think they'll be up by that sort of margin all the way through, and you're like, Swans won this pretty comfortably, but it didn't blow out because you still got a decent team.
Leo?
So,
Yeah, it'll be competitive. Carlton have still a very strong side, and they just love a close game.
Yeah,
as
they
Jim
do.
knows.
Yeah.
I feel like we use that every Thursday night show. Carlton love a close
But
game.
they do. Every week they're playing really close games.
I think we'll have the, if we had the heart monitor on me this week, I'd just be like 8 tins deep, just going, do not care, we're getting smashed.
Why isn't this heart monitor not working? It's just
Why have we got a Paramount Plus subscription?
He's gone to sleep. Saturday, Collingwood. The hated Pies against the Crows. It's the Bird Bowl. I love a good Bird Bowl.
I've never heard that one. That's a good one.
The Bird Bath, it could be, because I think,
The Bird Bath.
I don't know, Adelaide, they're 19.5 point underdogs. I don't think it should be that far out. I think this should be under 10 points, personally. 145 of the MCG, because we don't play 2-10 games anymore. The over-under is 167.5. DeGoey comes back in for the Pies. Let's look at some other ins and outs. For Collingwood versus Kuwana, you got Schultz and DeGoey coming back in for the Pies in place of Jeremy Howe and Jack Bytel. For the Crows, Lachlan Murphy and Will Hamill. Josh Worrell, that was a big out, actually.
Yeah, he's been good.
I went to school with him.
Oh, did you
Are
really?
you best mates?
I wish.
Could you call him now? Call him now.
No, I can't.
What are you
I
doing?
could message him on Instagram, but he probably won't reply.
And Dan Curtin, after not exactly lighting it up last
He
week.
hasn't been great, but I still think he'll be all right in the future.
I think he said Shoal was omitted.
Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
You're off your head, Stats.
Hey, did I say that on camera? No.
DeGoey's back in after a, look, we're not going to say trip to Bali. We're not going to say, geez, remember how there was reporting of injuries that would cover for
hamstring injuries.
Interesting samples? I don't know.
No.
DeGoey's back.
He's back though. Pies fans will be
I'm sure
loving
it's
that.
all clean, folks. Adelaide, however, lost their last 8 games of the MCG and 9 against the Pies. Tough one, Stats boy.
They
Any
hate
stats
playing.
there?
Yeah, they hate playing against the Pies. The last win against the Pies was in 2017, so that's a long while back.
Really close last
But
year.
Both games were really close last year. They lost by 1 point and 2 points. And Adelaide fans, I think they umpires cost them
I
the
think
match.
the one in Adelaide, Johnny Noble, who's playing his 100th game,
He killed
kicked the winning goal.
He did actually, yes, yeah.
Our beloved Johnny Noble.
Actually, is he 100th this
100th
week?
game, that's what it says right
we
there.
love that.
He's
That's
turning
awesome.
up. That's
Just
great.
read stats guy.
Yeah.
Use those eyes.
It feels like Adelaide, though, have a chance here, right? Because Collingwood are beset by injuries still.
Yep.
No Myercheck.
I found a little bit of form, Adelaide.
You sort of look at their forward line, you're like, it's a lot of Finn McRae. And he was very good last week against the Eagles.
He's not going to be good
But that
this
was
week.
the Eagles.
Yeah.
That was another bird bowl.
Bobby Hill.
This is a better bird bowl. It's at the G.
Bobby Hill's starting at centre half
It's a
forward.
very small
apparently.
forward line.
Or full forward, sorry. Full forward. Bobby
Schultz
Hill.
helps, DeGoey helps, but otherwise, I kind of think I don't mind Adelaide in this. Adelaide by 2. I think we have another close game. And I
really?
think they somehow sneak it out.
Okay.
Big Tex bombing one in from outside 50 perhaps to win the game in a famous win at the MCG. But between Rochelle and Rankine and stuff like that, the sort of balance of the Adelaide forward line, it'd be really fascinating to see how it actually goes. At
The
G.
fog looked good the last couple of weeks.
did.
He's finally found some form.
They were all at Adelaide Oval though, weren't they? Most
Yeah,
of the
a
pros
lot of these Adelaide
so.
players lift at the Adelaide level and then they go away and
So
they're like, oh, we
this is a
can't
big
play.
test. It's a really big test because like their entire season, it doesn't exactly hinge on this, but it kind of does.
No, it does.
So
probably.
let's see what happens. I'm going to go Adelaide by 2. Leo?
I think Pies by 6. I think the under will hit as well. Both
Yep.
like the small Collingwood forward line. Crows back line has actually been impressive this season.
It has, yeah.
And forward line a bit shaky. So I think the under will hit and Pies by 6.
Ooh, I'm going Pies by 15. I think, I got to back them at the MCG. If this was at Adelaide Oval, I'd probably be tipping Adelaide. They haven't been too bad. But
Just
I'm
can't
going
trust
Pies.
them away.
Can't trust
Boo.
them away.
Can't
I'm
the
going- Can't the Crom.
Let's go the Crom. All right, GWS versus the Western Bulldogs at NG.
Engie.
I love NG. It's the first game back at home, I believe, this one, isn't it, for the GWS
Yes.
after the show?
Something like that.
4:30 on Saturday afternoon. GWS are 14.5-point favourites, and you're now listening to the BBC. 179 over under. That was good. I should do that more often. GWS have slipped. They've lost 3 of the last 4.
Yeah.
Good time to go home, I think, and especially against their hated rival,
They hate each other, these two.
the Western Bulldogs. What are we going to do? See some Toby Green karate kicks and stuff. Go out there, do some jiu-jitsu.
Targeted Bont one game and got him injured. There's been so many reports in this matchup. I love watching these two
Thing
battle it out.
is, in terms of the ins and outs for GWS Giants and the Western Bulldogs, Xavier O'Halloran and Jacob Weir come in
Ooh.
for Ash and Callie. That was one that we talked about yesterday, the injuries. Caleb Daniel comes in for Jason Johannesson.
Bevo's favourite player is back in. Caleb
Might be
Daniel.
sub. He's on the
He probably
extended
will be
bench.
sub.
That is the big question for this one.
Him and Jack McRae are on the extended bench.
Oh.
Wow. Who will get Bevo? That's the big question for this one.
That's a good question. Everyone.
How about just Rory Lobb for just being emergency?
Well, he shouldn't be in the team.
He's
He's
being constantly Bevoed.
Yeah.
Consistent Bevo.
He's just always being Bevoed. He's like, just imagine being Rory Lobb at home. He's like, what am I doing?
He's got his
Why
partner
did I come
making
here? What
VFL
is-
TikToks.
What is
his
Bevo
partner
having?
is like roasting him on TikTok, which
Yeah.
is
He
just
goes
makes
along with it. It's
He's
a bit weird,
They're a very weird, rude relationship.
Under the thumb. Anyway, love that Rory Lobb. No, look, that's great. That's just the sign of a healthy relationship.
Bit of banter, yeah, that's
you
all
got some stats there, stats boy.
Why not? Dogs, they've won the last 2 matches at NG Stadium, however you say
NG.
it. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings, so they really live for this matchup because, as I said, they hate the Giants. It is second versus the third offenses in the league. Obviously, the Dogs bumped up their...
The Dogs have a top 4 offense.
because
do
of
now,
last
because
week.
last week, so
So
yeah.
last week bumped up.
Forgot
They were
about
still probably...
Richmond doesn't
I think
count.
they were still like 7th or
doesn't
something.
count.
So they've still been pretty good. So just be interesting to see if this is a really high-scoring game with that pretty high over-under of 179.
They are 2 pretty fun forward lines, right? Between
Yeah.
Jamara, Norton and Co versus
Giants haven't been
Toby,
too
Jesse
good at scoring
and
lately.
Riccardi.
So-
It's an interesting one. We didn't actually ask the big question for Collingwood Adelaide, but it was basically like...
I brought it up. I said about the
Umpiring.
umpires. Adelaide blamed the umpires last year for 2 games, so they
love
can blame
that.
another one anyway.
Let's see it bounce back the other way. But I think GWS win this.
Yep.
15 points. I think they just sort of eke it out. It's going to be they expect a huge crowd for this, right? Because it's like they've completely identified like the fact that the Saturday Arvo game is like they're bang on, get everyone out there. They should smash it. I think they sort of get around this even despite losing Callie and Ash. I think they, just sort of eke it out. Should be really fun.
Jesse
game.
Hogan's 150th. He might kick a bag. Yeah.
Stats boy, who you taking?
I'm going Giants by 9. They should just love a close game. Usually, I'd probably tip the Dogs because they have go really well in this matchup, but I'm going the Giants. They got to bounce back, surely.
Yeah, Giants just have too much talent, and I don't think the Dogs can play well twice in a row. And also, I don't know if it's playing well if it's against Richmond.
That's a good
Does
call.
that count?
Yeah, no, it doesn't count. They actually didn't even get points on the ladder for it.
That's the right answer. I like that. Brisbane, Richmond. This sucks. This entire Saturday night, it's a tough one. Brisbane, 46.5-point favourites against the Tigers. Oh boy, they have also been smash-rated by injuries. They bring back Camden McIntosh, Steely Green, the third best name in the AFL.
Steely Green.
Shadow Brain, still number one.
Shadow Brain is cool.
Kane McAuliffe comes in. Our man Al Payton's favourite rookie. And Matty Coulthard, like David Coulthard's little brother, got a big box head too. Sam Banks, Maurice Rioli, Jack Grieve and Seth Campbell. Maurice.
This is always the hardest part of the show, Jim reading that name.
I'm just lucky his eyes isn't playing.
Yeah,
Trezzy. Noah Answorth and Jackson Pryor. So Answorth comes in, Pryor's out. The Tigers, that's a lot of outs. It's just the Jack Graham one hurts.
They've got so many injuries. Maurice Rioli literally snapped his leg in half against the Tigers. They just can't catch a break at the moment, the Tigers.
All right. Tough one. Stats, boy. Stats.
Why not? Tigers lost the last 6 away matches. They've probably just lost a lot of matches in general. And then they've lost the last 4 meetings at the Gabba. So no one really likes going to the Gabba. Gabba hasn't been the fortress as it has been in other years.
There this year?
Once against Mel. Did they beat Melbourne there?
No, it was at the G.
Or was that at the G? Well, actually, we have to double check. They might not have won there yet, actually.
Who would have thought that? 10 rounds and they haven't won at the Gabba.
That is unbelievable.
Beat Gold Coast there.
Yeah, okay. I knew they won.
Why would you bring that up, Stats guy?
I said they've won one. So
why are you both on this show? This is horrible.
Yeah. Last 6 meetings have gone over the total points, but this is the 13th versus the 18th offense in the league.
So the over-under is 169.5, which you'd automatically take if these two teams were like full strength.
Yeah.
But they're not. And it's
and their forward line,
although to see Richmond scoring that much.
Yeah. Brisbane should put up a big score, but Richmond can't hold up their end of the bargain.
So the thing is, like Richmond, Brisbane, we've seen this. This was like what 2 finals, like the last couple of years and stuff like that. Well, maybe
2022 that was a big final.
21. Yeah, like it's crazy to think that this Tigers team has fallen that far that quickly. But that's what happens. You win 3 flags.
It happens.
The nadir happens.
If I was a Richmond supporter, I'd take it.
The big question here is like, how many goals did Brisbane win by? But also, can they kickstart their season after the weird tie last week? Like, this could be the one little thing that Chris Fagan's men just springboard from, right? It's like
score 150 or something. Yeah,
we tied against Adelaide last week in weird circumstances. We've lost a bunch of dudes. We've now steadied. We've gone back to the Gabba. We've gone home. We've smashed Richmond by like 80, and away we go. Could be.
Yeah,
you'd hope so. If not, they're cooked. I'm going to go the Brisbane Lions by 61.
Ooh.
Lions by 46.
46. I'm going by 51. They're just all calling us smashing.
Pour one out for the poor Tigers.
Well, so you're saying Richmond covering the line there?
Just.
By half.
Put your money where your mouth is. All right, St Kilda Freo is the other game. The Saints are 2.5-point favourites actually against Freo at Marvel at 7:30 on Saturday.
Saints are favourites.
That's a joke.
The over-under in this one is 148.5. What is this? The Lion Bowl.
Ross Lyon Bowl.
Ross Lyon. Everybody's
There's a lot of bowls this week.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Ross.
You can make a bowl out of anything.
Well, to be honest, Sydney Carlton, that's the David Rees-Jones Bowl.
Yeah.
Love that. Let's go.
Sure.
Brisbane
Spider Everett Bowl.
Brisbane, Richmond. Is that the Tom Lynch?
No.
He played for Adelaide, the other Tom Lynch.
No, the Tom Lynch VAR.
Yes.
The Arc Bowl.
That cost you the biggest
the Arc
multi of
Bowl,
all
which
time.
cost me the $5 into like 1,050 out of nowhere, breaking my heart. Anyway, what are we talking about? We're talking about Saints Freo. The Ross Lyon Bowl.
The Ross Lyon Bowl.
I love that the over-under is at 148.5. It's like
Jesus.
nothing. It is
148
absolutely
is so
crazy.
low.
That is so low.
That
Oh my
is
God.
absolutely brutal. But they also have Euro York and Wally up for
that's cool.
the team names. So in for Euro York, Cooper Sharman, Paddy Dow, my beloved Paddy Dow, Anthony Caminiti.
That's a big in. I like
Caminiti.
him, yeah.
Zach Jones.
Is it a big in?
Yeah, they need
Lance
someone.
Collard and Matthias Philippou. Out goes Hasty, Ross, Stocker, Membry, and Jack Hayes and Hugo Garcia. That is a tough one.
Actually,
for
there's a
Supercoach.
lot of... They dropped Jack Hayes.
Yeah. He got subbed out.
Yeah, but...
Membry being managed is pretty funny, especially against Freo. They have no changes against for Wally up, so pretty good. You'll take that. I initially have tipped the Saints. I don't know
about that.
I'm going to swing this back over around the other way. I think it's going to be really close. That's why I've sort of gone back and forth on it. But when you look at those ins and outs, I think it's probably a little bit too many moving parts for me. Let's take out some stats here, Stats Boy.
Yeah, I think, as you would say, there are going to be a lot of clamps in this game. That's why it's
You want to see some
140.
clamps?
Bring some clamps. You got Ross Lyon, who's famous for just playing all out defense. And then you got Freo, who are the third best defense in the comp. So this is going to be a bit of a snore fest, I reckon. Saints, they've lost their last 11 matches against teams who are higher on the ladder. So that's another little funny stat because they just get nervous. Oh crap, they're a bit higher than us on the ladder. We're going to get smashed. So I don't know why they're favourites. Yeah.
Big question, the Ross Lion Bowl. Should the loser have to just keep Ross as their coach? Frego's like, we wanted to win. We tried. It's like, too bad, Justin Long. On your back.
Imagine they set the swap.
I think that would make Freo play better if they knew that was
exactly
on the line.
my point. It's like, we
Freo
don't
win
want
by
to
100.
We're going to win. That guy sucked. That's why we fired him.
Oh, that's funny.
Freo, the better team.
Yeah. They've really shocked me this season.
At Marvel, they haven't been too bad as well, I believe.
I think it's 5-5 or 5-6.
Yeah, it's not as bad as you'd make me think for a team.
Needed a
coming
half
over.
to get over North, though.
Yeah, we were up by 32.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a worry, but then we got smashed anyway. So.
Freo by 6. I think this
Classic.
is the Clamps. Stats boy.
I'm going to go Dockers by 40. This is my pretty big call that we'll get into later. I think they're going to absolutely smash them. Saints have been horrible. They should not be favourites in this game. It's just because it's at Marvel and they sometimes play okay there, but they've been really bad. They've dropped off a cliff since last season. What is their record again?
3-6.
3-6, and Dockers are playing really well. Their midfield's going to absolutely dominate.
Like the Saints literally just lost to Hawthorn last week, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
In Tassie.
You didn't even tip them, so you can't say anything.
I never tip Hawthorn.
Saints beat North before that, lost to Power, lost to the Dogs. It's just, what are we basing this on? So I'm going Freo.
Yep.
Leo?
Yeah, Freo by about 4 goals. And just also, Saturday night is a perfect night to just watch a film or just do anything else.
Or go to a
watch these
concert.
games.
As I said, I'm going to a gig, so it's like, let's just
Have a date night. Stats guy, find a date.
we'll do, mate.
Anyone out there, just give him a call. Stats boy. Find him on Twitter.
Stats
Slide in the DMs. Sunday, Essendon, North Melbourne. Oh, poor one out for Stats Boy's ruse. Clarko ball. They're going to fire up the Clarko ball, Stats Boy. The Bombers are 48.5-point favourites in this one, which feels even a little bit unders, but you did almost beat them last year.
Twice. We both were under a goal last year, which
This
annoyed
is
me.
Marvel at 1:10 p.m. on Sunday.
Prime time.
The over-under is 178.5. That feels like it's a bit under. I feel like this could be pretty wide open, free-flowing
Under the
Marvel
roof, yeah.
classic game. Jakey Stringer barrels it in for like 4 goals. And
Contract year.
Contract year, Stringer.
He's like, no, I remember when I kicked 6 goals against... It was against North, wasn't it, Jakey? He's like, yes, I'm sorry.
And here's 5 years.
Yeah, he's 5 years. You're going to be 38.
5 years, 5 mil.
How old is he?
10-year contract. All right, Stats Boy stats.
I don't like reading that North stats, but I will anyway. Ruse, I was going to say Ross because we were talking about so much Ross. Ruse lost their last 10 meetings with the Bombers. I literally said to Leo before, I can't remember the last time we've beaten the Bombers. Sort of like you.
I was
you
not
were
listening.
4. Yeah. Well, I wasn't 4. Last win was in 2016. That was, I think,
So you
when
were
we met.
4?
Yeah, I was at least 18.
That's 18. Come on.
Not good Ruse against the Bombers. Just a horrible record. And then each of the Bombers' last 5 games at Marvel have gone under the total points, which surprised me. Yeah. So.
Oh, they've gotten better defensively, have they?
Yeah.
Is it just because they're playing maybe better opponents that they make the game defensively?
Well, last week they
opposition?
only let GWS score 62 points.
But my
so
point
the
is,
defense
Giants are a great team. They make the game defensively, and Essendon
possibly
won the game.
That game also just ground to a standstill in that last quarter, so it's a bit of a strange one. But remember, Essendon are the best team in the AFL right now, and I'm backing them to the hilt to win the title. So we're
They're going to be world champions.
World
They're gonna be world champions
champions,
of the
like
AFL.
NBA
Let's
or
go.
world champions.
No, I love Essendon at the moment.
Yep.
You know, what are they? They haven't lost in, is it 6 weeks? They lost to
Is that
Port.
right?
I
Do
think
you
last
love
time-
Essendon, though?
I do love Essendon.
what he-
I'm backing them to the hilt, Leo.
That's his thing, that's
why
his
don't you
thing.
believe me?
Because it's Essendon.
I am clearly one of the most Carlton Essendon fans you'll ever find. It's amazing.
Look at this smirk.
What smirk?
He's not
said
Italian enough for
smirking.
that.
Yeah, the last time they lost was at Gathering. When we were in
That's when
attendance.
they were horrible.
Since then, they've
The Port
tied.
Adelaide game?
Yeah.
The only other thing is they're tied with the Pies. So they are the best team in the AFL. Sorry, Swans, but Essendon's here. The big question, can the Roos give us an honourable loss?
Jim, that's all I've been dreaming about for the whole year.
That's sad that you're dreaming.
How
this
sad is
long.
that?
Dreams are
How
weird.
sad is that? Well, we've lost almost every game
Yeah,
by
but
40
like-
plus. Just like the Hawks, for example. I've had a couple of games where they go, all right, the Hawks are
Yeah,
showing something. We have not shown anything for a full game.
Get
Give me
fired up.
something.
Get fired
Give me
up.
something.
Look
North.
down the camera,
Clarko,
get fired
you're
up.
fired if you lose by more than 50 in this game, I reckon. Get out of town.
You going to take over?
Yeah, why not?
good.
I'll do a better job. I'll drop Simpkin and McDonald.
Stats guy ball.
Yes.
In comes Dylan Shield, Nick Bryan, Nate Caddy for the Bomb Rays.
I just realised how much you've tipped here. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh my God.
Jai Simpkin, Miller Bergman, Curtis Taylor. I don't even know who half these dudes are.
Oh, Curtis Taylor's back. That's
He's not
beautiful.
good.
Toby Picks.
No, he's good.
Dylan Stevens. Jeez, he's finally back. Zane Dursma coming in well because they lose Colby McKercher. They lose Will Phillips because they went, dropped.
Will Phillips getting dropped is a joke.
Really
It's a
hard.
bit stiff.
Curtis Taylor genuinely will help our forward line a lot.
Curtis Taylor is
He's a good
not
player.
good.
He's a good player. I'm standing by that. He's going to kick 3.
All right, Essendon by 150.
150?
150.
150!
If I'm not doing the show, I'll be at the footy on Sunday. I'm not doing the show Sunday night if we lose by more than 100. Am I allowed to say that? I'm
the
not coming
150
in.
was like a bit of a joke because I reckon they turn up.
No, go 150. Why not?
Let's go, Andy.
And that's not even his big call.
It's amazing. The tricky part is, I don't quite believe this because, North can score-ish at times.
Oh, not
and
this year.
Essendon have shown tendencies to like open the floodgates a little bit the other way. Not so much the
it's
last
not a
few
bad
weeks, though,
shout.
so we'll see how we go. Stats boy.
Bombers by 50.
All right.
Leave it at that. Please.
Bombers by 34.
34. I would take 34.
That's not an honourable loss. 5 goals.
How much is an honourable loss? 30 or less?
3 goals or less.
3 goals.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
maybe
an
4
honourable
goals.
loss.
4 goals.
or
All
less.
right.
Yeah, if you're down heaps and you pull it all the way back to 4. I'm
gonna be down by
Or if you're
150.
up and you still end up losing. But I think the crazy part is, so Leo's beloved Hawks, who we're about to talk about, they looked absolutely horrible the first, 5 weeks?
Oh, it was
probably?
only the Melbourne and Gold Coast game.
And then, like the honourable losses, then finally,
Then some honourable
meant
wins.
actual wins,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
away you go. So now Sam Mitchell's sitting there going, "We've won 3 games. This is great. It's pretty good." Speaking of which, let's do it. Port Adelaide versus Hawthorn.
Let's go.
Power. They've got the power to win, the power to be favourites by 31.5 points, and geez, Adelaide will be rocking 320 on Sunday afternoon. Over unders 170.5. Interesting. What is it? Yartapulti?
Yartapulti, yeah.
Yartapulti for Port. They have named Connor Rosie. Rosie.
Surely
Great
not.
for my
Give
Supercoach.
him a rest.
No,
Jordan
no.
Sweet,
Ken.
Jace Burgoyne as well. Sweet's awesome for your Supercoach
Oh,
teams.
awesome.
Happy days.
But they've kept Vicentini in.
Well, this
As
is
the
the extended
starting
bench.
ruck.
Extended bench for your Sundays. Hawthorn,
I don't like
Ethan
that.
Phillips makes his debut. Leo, excited?
Yeah.
Marvioch.
Don't
I
get
mean,
so
he's a
excited.
key defender,
He's in my
like-
Supercoach, so I'm happy.
No, I'm excited to see him play.
You've got Marbio Chol coming back as well, feasibly. Bailey McDonald, CJ.
CJ.
That's
We
pretty
only
good.
played 3 quarters last week in the VFL.
I love
so
watching Jaff there.
I'm worried they've rushed him back.
3 quarters.
And Max Ramsden too. So out go Scrimshaw and Gunston. So Phillips has been named to make his debut, which is very cool.
Cool.
And especially if you've kept him on your Supercoach bench because he's super cheap.
I have as well, yeah, for some reason.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you absolutely meant to do that because
Yeah.
you knew he was going to play.
All right, Stats Boy, give us some stats.
Well,
Why
last time I think Leo and I were talking about this. It was an absolute shootout, the biggest score of the whole year last season, 151 to 96.
Nice.
Like the old school sort of footy. It was 97 to 16
It was
at one
97
point.
to 6, and it was 138 to 43 at one point.
So that game was just chaos, and it would be awesome if that could repeat itself.
No,
Not
it
for,
wouldn't
not
be
for
awesome.
Hawks fans, but just would be pretty crazy.
So one of the other names in there is not Sicily, right?
Yeah, Sicily's not back.
Sicily's not
No,
back.
he doesn't like South Australia.
He's like,
as
look,
well as
if we're going to
Tassie.
build up this new contract, I'm not going anywhere.
Only
no,
Vic games.
only
It's
Victoria.
going
No, no.
it's to come down to not even
I'm
Marvel.
not. I'm not even like saying like I don't want to go to another team when I don't want to leave where I am right now.
Yeah, he's going to play. You're going to play at his local park.
He's just going to train just at Waverley, and that's it.
He has a sleeping bag of
All right,
water.
other ones. Go, Stats Boy.
Power, they've won 21 of their last 22 day games.
Oh,
at the Adelaide
that
Oval.
fills me with hope.
Bit of a funny stat there. And then Hawks, 2-6 in the last 5 seasons at Adelaide Oval. They were actually pretty valiant effort against Collingwood, gather round that you and Alex were at. So they had a really good
But that's
comeback.
different. That's another Vic team. That's not playing at.
That's true. So yeah, they don't have a good record at the Adelaide Oval.
They were electric in that game against Collingwood.
They were. Get them
In the
fired
second
up.
half,
Get
Yeah,
them-
second half, like when we were there.
Yeah.
We spurred them on, boys. Let's
The
go.
game ended. You guys are like, I thought it was halftime. Where's the second half?
Just full of pies and tins.
We're talking to hockey before that.
Big question here. Can we see the best looking matchup in history? Finn
Leo's
McGuinness,
Yeah,
tag
I
him.
reckon.
C, Rosie.
Yeah.
They both get 3 votes in the handsome department, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind that. That's a great big question. Tips margin, Port by 41. I think they're just a little bit too potent for your guys there, Leo.
Yeah, I think Port by about 6 goals. Hawthorn, 2 wins in a row, both just sort of scraping by.
Yeah.
probably back down to earth this
back
week.
down to earth is the exact perfect phrase.
I'm going to go by 28. I've been pretty impressed by the Wiz and the Hawks, so I'm going to go by 28 Port Adelaide. And I'll keep it pretty close.
Finally, go out west. West Coast versus Melbourne. Minus 29.5 point favourites are the Ds. That checks out. Optus Stadium, 6:20 p.m. Hoping this is a smashing because we'll be doing the Sunday night show probably at halftime for this game.
Quarter time, fingers crossed.
Let's go. The over-under is 168.5, and this is a really, really strange one because the Eagles have at least up until last week when they come over to Melbourne to play
a lot of injuries
at Marvel against the Pies. The Pies had sort of just found a nice little streak of form. They're on a hiding to nothing. Going home against the Demons, maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe it's more of the same. The thing is they don't name Yo, so we don't get any Yo. But we do get Jake Waterman, the J-Train.
Boy is back.
The J-Train, exciting times. Andrew Gaff, watch out. Jermaine Jones, Harry Edwards, Joe Cully, Petrocelli and Harvey Johnson out as well. In for the Demons, Shane McAdam, Christian Salem, Adam Tomlinson, Fullerton, Tholstrup. I love Colton Tholstrup. Isn't he from over there as well?
Yep,
Tholstrup?
I think so.
He is.
Yeah.
That is such a good name.
They flew like his
Tholstrup.
entire family out for his debut, right? Yeah.
Oh, my favourite.
Well, they were
Ben
over
Brown.
here for his debut.
Yes.
And Ben Brown.
I love Ben Brown.
Interesting.
I miss him.
Ed Langdon, Roo, Daniel Turner are all out as well.
I just realised Harvey Johnson omitted.
Yeah.
And he was the one that got touched by the
I wish they
Collingwood.
put
the
face
Collingwood
instead
fan.
of omitted.
Yeah,
I told you.
Did the Collingwood fan do something to him, Jim?
Omitted.
He laced him.
Touched. No, omitted. It should have then.
Touched by a Collingwood fan.
Touched by a Collingwood fan. We don't know where any
They
of
need to
them
put
have
him on the injury list, and it's just unknown.
It's like being touched by a Collingwood fan. I don't know if you've ever seen Train Spotting. There's a toilet
I
scene
love to
there.
watch Trains.
Just watch the
No, I've seen that.
the toilet scene. Ah, God. Anyway, no, look, Stats Boy, give us some stats.
Why
because-
not?
Why not?
Why not?
You're saying why not?
That's only the second time I've said it.
No, it's not.
We'll count them up. Get a why not counter. Demons, they've won last three meetings at Optus by an average of 49 points. They've had a lot of smashings there the last couple of seasons. And then West Coast have had a solid, I was going to say that's not a stat. That's just talking about their injuries, which I'm very happy that Waterman's back in for the Eagles. I think that's a huge in and can make this a bit closer.
So they keep Harley Reid in the team.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, it's cool. Keep him rolling. You'll have a bye soon. Away we go. The big question here is, what happens? Will the entire AFL world explode if Harley Reid stiff arms Christian Petrarca?
Oh, they might have to change their profile
Like
picture
Twitter
and
might
things
melt
like
down.
that. Yeah.
Like the AFL headquarters just might melt down. Like it's just like Harley Reid. Just like everything just self-combusts. It's like it's over. Weird game. I think Eagles get smashed again. I've got Melbourne by 62. I've just sat at 62 for most of these games.
Yeah, how many of you said 60? You just like
It's either 61 or
just
62.
likes
I
that
think I've
number.
got 4 of the
You might as well
games.
I think
change it.
Sydney are winning by 62.
You should change your Essendon one to 162.
162. Yeah, Demons killed them, I think.
Yeah.
Poor one out for poor West Coast. Look, they'll make a fist of it early, but then I think the D's run right over the top of them and extend it out. And it's like, you sort of sit there, it's like that Twilight over there kind of game. We're like, now it's just sad. Oh, God. It's like, stop it. They're already dead. We get it. Stats Boy?
Melbourne by 44. They don't have a forward line to bag enough goals to kick. I don't think
Do you
a
send
60
Petrarca
point.
forward again and see if we can kick 6?
I think
For Supercoach, yes.
Well, sort of, yeah. He's kicked 5 last week or 6, so he can kick this week. Yeah, they don't have enough goal kickers, I don't think, to have a massive margin, but I'm going to go by 44.
All right, Leo.
I think 71 point Demon victory. I just think they do have the forwards against this West
Against
Coast
this team, maybe, yeah. You got McGovern, Gecko Hands McGovern down there.
Gecko Hands.
Yeah, I mean,
that's his nickname.
Yeah, that's his nickname.
Isn't that why they bought Ben Brown in? Just to
Yeah, but he's been horrible last
He's
Ben
the
Brown in for
decoy.
Roof.
The decoy, yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, big calls for the weekend ahead. Oh, this is the week that Heeney wins the Brownlow. He's got an insurmountable lead already by round 10. He's on 30 votes. No. I think there could be a massive, massive Heenman game here. 35 plus touches, 2 plus goals, 3 votes.
Fair.
And you have that moment of like, when we get to this game in the Brownlow count, he's already maybe like best on ground for 3 or 4 games. And you're like, hang on. Is he on like 15 votes already by round 10? Are we
This
on
could be a
like
boring
more?
Brownlow count if that's going to be the case.
It's like he's been very,
He has
very
been awesome.
good. He's had like 1 or 2 quiet games in there, but the games that he's been good, he's been really good. So I think in terms of the way that Carlton look at this and they go, oh, do we send
Does
like
Stewart go to him?
we would like they had Kennedy like
Maybe.
try to shut down Petrarca last week and it worked for the first half and then that's why they sent him forward and it nearly won them the game. So the Heen man, I think the way that he's playing, unstoppable. I think what we've seen from Carlton at times as well, obviously I bang on about this, Carlton fan. You watch all these games, you're like, just the rebounding through the guts, just the lack of defensive accountability for their like mids. Heeney is the exact dude and Goulden obviously, who can just tear you right up. So I think it's a really, really big Heeney game right now.
Heeney.
Stats boy.
I'm going Freo 40 plus. I already mentioned that against Ross's old club. He's going to get him sacked. And you said they might have to swap coaches or something like that.
Wait, so is your big call that he's getting sacked?
Yeah.
If
in
Freo-
the next month and a half, I reckon he could, because the Saints are underperforming massively. They made the finals last year. They're going to lose a lot of games against
Maybe
teams
they
that shouldn't.
overperformed last year.
Isn't this only his second year?
Just get him out of there. He's old.
I mean, I'm all for it because I was yelling about this on Sunday.
To be fair, I don't think he is going to get sacked because the Saints are.
Well, so now you're going back on your big call.
But I think he should get sacked. That's my big call.
Right.
Your big call is your opinion.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
That's a call.
Yeah.
It is certainly
That's
a call.
Jim's opinion is that Heeney will win the Brownlow.
That's
Leo,
not an opinion. That's more fact.
it is fact-based because he's going to win it. I like it though. Stats Boy's big non-call is like, I think he should be sacked, but he won't be.
No, because Saints are too cowardly to sack someone.
Your big call is Ross Lyon keeps his
All right,
job.
fine. Ross Lyon will be sacked in the next month. There you go.
Ross Lyon will have a job for life. All right, good job.
No, get him out of there.
Leo.
Both teams will score over 100 points between North and Essendon.
You're bagging my big call. That's not going to happen.
What do you mean, Matt? We need to get a big call right, because I don't think we've got one right all season.
No, I think if you went through the archives, we've got at least 60% right.
Oh, yeah, sure. But this one's going to happen. I reckon Essendon will get like 136, North 102.
I will take that.
So
It'll
it was
just be back and forth.
105.99 last year.
And
Essendon.
yeah. It was similar.
And I
We
believe
played
there
them
was
twice last year. Yeah.
There's 114.66 in 2022.
There was another
I
one
can't
last
remember
year.
see the other. Oh, there we go. 77.86 the other one. So
That's what I reckon the score will be around here.
Nice
Like
one.
not.
I reckon it'll just be ping pong.
Okay.
all right.
Don't mind.
Things to keep an eye on during round 10. GWS, they need to win.
They
Yeah,
do.
against the Dogs.
They were essentially your premiership favourites very early on
Yep.
and have now lost 3 or 4. They need to win. Let's go. Was it this Lions one?
I just said surely it's going to be a big game for the Lions offense. They're playing Richmond. They beat up Richmond. They haven't fired an offense other than playing North.
This is like a classic Hipwood, like 5 goals.
Yeah, or Danaher or something like that.
He
And if they
probably
don't,
gives it to the media or something.
if they don't fire up in this game, that's just embarrassing.
Joey Danaher, to be honest, it should be. I'm going to die of it.
it's the dust.
Jim, just at least survive
It's
until
the
the end of
dust.
the show. It's
The
the
dust is chaos.
There's no dust in it.
Big Danaher game. He's been just dragged all week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Fair.
And then what's this last one?
Oh,
Not-
Leo, I want to say this one.
Just something to not keep an eye on. Not St Kilda versus Freo or Lions versus Tigers.
So to keep an eye on
Just is not to keep an eye on.
going out on Saturday
Yeah,
night.
just go out.
I like it.
Have a few tins.
Yep.
I got a gig to go to at the Crocs then, and right near the Welcome to Thornbury, obviously. They've
Yep.
got lots of big screens there. You can watch the footy, go across to the gig whenever you want.
Just tell them to turn off the footy.
It's like, I might just go to the gig
Get some
early.
Downton Abbey on or something.
Just stand there and look at an empty stage. Just
Downton
like,
Abbey.
whatever. This is better. Nah, this should be good. Look, to be honest, Saints Freo tough. Lions Tigers it should at least be entertaining up there at the Gabba for Brisbane.
Hopefully.
So, all right, SuperCoach tips, vibes, thoughts. VC captain vibes.
Oh, we haven't talked about that.
I'm VCing Dacos into Gorn the other way around from last time because Gorn plays West Coast over there.
I'm not sure.
And Dacos has the Crows obviously at the G Saturday early afternoon. Walsh versus Sydney is another one for me, interestingly. I don't know about that one though because Sydney might just he had a really big game against them last year. They still got smashed, but I don't know. I just really trust Dacos. He's playing really, really well at the moment. So there's your vice captain loophole.
Why not?
Other ones, obviously, McKercher and Roberts out this week. Tough one.
Yeah, I feel
CRZ
like-
comes back in.
Yep.
Garcia's out as well. So that's a lot of bench stuff for folks. Jack Carroll, though, cheapo right there. Got to keep out an eye for that Harley Reid. Was it 130?
134 break even. I
So
think he's out for me.
most traded out player, I think,
I'm
this
holding.
week.
Really?
Hoddle.
Because even if he does have a down week, he should bounce back in a few weeks, I think. 'Cause he's good enough.
30,000 people have traded him out now.
I think he's going to fluctuate. I think he's going to go down, but then he's going to go back up again.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've double upgraded with Rankine and Nick Martin.
He's brought back Nick Martin. Of
course I have.
That means he's going to go bad again, don't
Did you boost?
No, I didn't boost.
Because you have none left.
No, I've got one left.
Where do you get these boosts?
I keep getting boosts. Boost! I love the boost, but I haven't used my last one. I'm just keeping the back pocket. I'm going to see if it rolls over to next year. But obviously, Zorko's the other big one where
I think you got to choose him over Rankin, but because
I can't.
He has a more reliable role.
Clear cut.
He has a more reliable role.
It is. It's more. You can trust Zorko. You can't trust Rankin.
You can trust Zorko. That's not a sentence anyone has
not as a
ever
human.
said.
Not as a human. He's a horrible.
Or for his
person.
injury history. He's 35. He's got these calves and
Is he
hammers that are-
35?
I think so. Like
Oh
made
my
of
God.
absolute just grass.
How
Like,
old is he?
Maybe 32. I don't know. I'm just making it up.
But he is.
no idea how old Dave Zorko
He's
is.
35. He's
Oh
35.
my God.
Jim from downtown. He goes bang.
How did you get that?
The greatest footballing mind in the country right here. Thank you very much. Luke Ryan's obviously, he's not going to get any cheaper than he is right now,
No.
probably for the next 2 months. So it's a really tricky
Still
sort of
very
proposition.
expensive, though.
He's extremely expensive.
666.
But, it's going to be hard for him to drop below that sort of 666. I thought about Whitfield as well in defence because they lose Ash.
I think teams have
Kelly.
worked out.
They've been trying to tag him.
They've tagged him out of games though.
Yeah.
So I actually, that's why I went with Martin instead because he's playing the Roos and could get 80 touches. So
Yeah.
have 400.
I'm happy if we have
Supercoach
80
points.
touches as a team, honestly.
All right. Any other thoughts? VCC vibes? Quick.
I'm
quick.
VCing Took Miller tonight and Drew
Oh.
Dacos. Just why not? A bit different. I'm ranked really low, so I got to do something.
Got to change
it
something
up.
different, yeah. All right, I'm going to go VC Dacos and then Captain Sarong. He's been the most consistent. I think a lot of people haven't been captaining him and then he's just pulling off 150s every 2 weeks. So I'm going to Captain Sarong.
If he
against
was not
Saints.
playing over here,
Yeah.
that's where they are, right? Against the Saints.
He's gonna rack up touches wherever he is,
I
so.
don't really like that as much. So.
Fair enough.
Anyway, just remember.
He's just saying he hates you.
basically.
Yeah, I already know that.
All right, there you go, though. That's it. SuperCoach set up for round 10. You can also listen to all the official SuperCoach podcasts.
Yes.
All the good stuff there. But that is it for AFL Today for this week until we are back on Sunday night to wrap up your entire round 10. I love that we're in double digits. It's where the real fans just stick in and just get dug in and just go footy. But thank you once more to the Ding guy for jumping on. We've got Leo over there. Well done, Leo.
Thank you, King Dingus.
King of the Ding
King
guy.
Dingus. That means you are a dingus, though.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, all right.
What am I going to do? Argue? I'm an idiot. What are you talking about? And the Stats Boy.
Thanks.
Stats
Thank
Boy.
you very much, Jim. Hopefully
right.
we don't lose by 150.
It'd be funny if you did.
Go North.
I'm going to take the world's biggest victory lap if you do lose by 150. Remember to smash a like for the AFL Today Show across all of your socials. You can see us doing lots of stuff. I got the power rankings, all the fun, dumb stuff, the goal of the week of the year.
Yep.
Which is always fun, the mark of the week of the year. Across Facey, IG, Threads, X, TikTok, YouTube, all the good stuff right there. Subscribe, star, and like all of our shows, in fact. What on your podcast apps as well as all those ones. What do we got? The Cricket Today podcast, the Football Today podcast, NBA Australia, and hold all tickets for your GGs. Get around all of them. Like, I want to say Jim Stein's getting around a gnarly Brownlow.
Brownlow. You won a Brownlow, yeah.
Which
Last
is still
ruckman to win a Brownlow.
pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Like, he and Scott whined. Incredible gear.
He's
for
Irish. Yeah.
Ruckman to go out there and just win bloody Brownlow. How good is that? Anyway, get around it like that. And that's it. We'll catch you on Sunday night to wrap up your round 10. That's been AFL Today. Remember, look after yourselves. And 40's back! If you like this show, make sure you check out all the other shows on the Sports Today Network, from the AFL Today Show to the Cricket Today podcast, the Football Today podcast, as well as NBA Australia and NFL Australia. With Sports Today, your sporting needs have never been easier to cover.